Hello, Blue Justin here. Still Justin, still not blue. Well, blue with my back that I've just nagged even more. But we shall totally skip by that because I'd rather get on with the video. Anyway, this is my anime video number 4. I haven't succeeded in getting anime videos out monthly like I wanted to. And in fact, I haven't got videos out as often as I wanted to recently. I was concentrating a lot on doing actual watching of movies during October. I know, it's just unheard of, especially for me. But anyway, that's a different video that's going to come up in more my special horror bingo card video, which is coming very, very soon. But today it's all about anime, and this is, like I said, anime video number 4, which is going to do the release schedule for November 2025, which is hopefully like now. I've found that it takes an excessive amount of time to do the editing if I do this face to the camera like I want to do, and I'd really much prefer to do face to camera like this for all my videos, but for these monthly roundups I'm going to do a pre-recorded section because it makes it a lot quicker for me to edit, which means I actually get them out rather than like the last 2 months I've planned them all down to the last detail, and then by the time I actually find the time to actually record stroke edit them, I realised it's so close to the end of the month it's a waste of time. So I'm going to apologise that it's not face-to-face planned, etc. But don't worry, I'm just as useless at trying to memorise facts, etc., even though I'm off camera. And I'm going to now insert the pre-recorded segment which gives you the details of all of November's releases, and I shall do that now. Right, like I said, not a big fan of not doing this face to camera, that sort of thing, but this way I should be able to actually get these things out rather than keeping on saying I'm going to do them and then they get pushed back so far that there's no point in doing them for the month because the month has already got. Okay, right, let's start here with right, and before I go on, I will just let you know that just about every single one of these titles had the wrong release date when I set up all these slides, so yeah, I've just had to redo them all, so which is a bit of a pain, and no, I still would have done this. Still would have been a quicker way of doing it. Right, starting with Arcane League of Legends Season 2. This is the second season of Netflix's hit animated series, which this one dives deeper into the conflict between Piltover and Zwan. It's got great visuals, emotional storytelling, and also intertwined fates. It's got a lot new League of Legends lore and breathtaking actions, and is apparently one of the most acclaimed modern anime-inspired shows. It's one I'm actually going to pick up after I picked up Season 1. And as you'll notice here, you've got 3 options. You've got the regular Blu-ray, coming in about £28. And by the way, these prices are from Anime Online, because they're 30% off if you get them in their month of launch type thing. And that they're not always check, of course, but that usually brings them down to lower than big stores like HMV and Amazon, but always check. Certainly also check or Anime Online in case they've got matching prices. So as I was saying, yeah, regular Blu-ray, and that second one there is the Blu-ray Steelbook. And the third one there is the 4K Steelbook. It's very rare up until recently that anime has gone into the Steelbook territory. It's really starting to hit it quite hard, and which is really quite good for people who are interested in Steelbooks. But also, it's a bit like when Steelbooks first started appearing in the regular, if you like, non-anime market, where they tended to try and put in a little bit of effort. There's a different steelbook for, well, back then it would have been DVD and Blu-ray, whatever, and now they're doing different steelbooks on the animes. They're doing them for the 4K and Blu-ray releases, and that's very nice to see. So yeah, and on to the rest of them that are released on the 3rd. And we've got Haiku the movie. Some places are calling it The Battle at the Garbage Dump. Probably a direct translation of some of the Japanese. But on the front it says Dumpster Battle, so best to use that, I imagine. This one is available in Blu-ray and Blu-ray Steelbook on release on the 3rd. It's essentially the two main characters are facing off in the long-awaited battle at the garbage dump, and I quote, it's a feature-length adaptation bringing top-tier animation and emotional payoff for long-time fans, and it's an exhilarating finale for one of sports anime's most beloved rivalries. So that's what that one's about. Next up, got Spy X Family Season 1. Is that Part 2? I see before me? Yes, it is. It's the Season 1, Part 2. Yes, well, nobody's a big fan of the way they split these things, especially as you see that price is not cheap. Because this is the collector's edition. I'm sure the Season 1 Part 2 non-collection edition will be out in due course. So yes, they're not, anime isn't being nice to us in all ways. It's still, in some ways, it's still following the trend of regular releases and doing different release dates for collector's editions and then the regular editions later on down the line to try and suck you into buying both. But yeah, or grabbing the expensive one because you don't want to wait. Spy X Family, they're back for more secret missions, domestic mischief. They're trying to balance espionage, school life, and family bonding, and a fan favourite hit. Slick, funny, heartfelt. And yeah, that one really has seemed to have taken off, I've noticed, Spy X Family, though I haven't seen any of it myself yet. Next up, we've got Most Heretical Last Boss Queen. That's just a regular Blu-ray Season 1. Princess regains memories of a cruel past life and vows to change her fate. It's an isekai redemption story. Isekai being, I think I might have mentioned it before, but you might not have caught that video, where a character either dies and wakes up in an alternate reality, or remembers a past life and then can use it to adapt what they're doing now. In this case, the person is in a game but remembers her existence, and so knows how the game is played. And so it turns out to be, this one is a redemption story, mixing palace intrigue, romance, and self-discovery. Uplifting tale of rewriting destiny. So quite similar in that way to the one that I reviewed a while back. I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. Something like that one. I really should remember my own titles. And villainesses turn up later in the month, by the way, on the 24th. And finally, releasing on the 3rd, we have The Tower of God. Long-awaited adaptation of the next arc in the Tower of God saga. This is Return of the Tower of God, Return of the Prince. New challenges climb ever higher, facing deadly tests and mysterious powers. Sprawling fantasy world returns, full of ambition, betrayal, and spectacle. And that's just the regular Blu-ray. There you go. Nothing until the 10th. Then we go on to a Dragon Ball Z. And that wasn't picked up at all in some of the early release announcements. So I'm not 100% sure on context of that one, but I'm sure anybody who's into all the Dragon Ball Z stuff will know where this is lying. I'm afraid I can't. I'm sorry I didn't do quick research on that. But I mean, and next up we've got Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. This is season 2, part 2. Journey of self-discovery, not self-destruction, continues in this lushly animated fantasy sequel. Haunted by past mistakes, he faces new magical and emotional challenges. One of the most polished isekai series, blending mature themes and heartfelt world building. So, well, yeah, that's 15 rated. And as you can see there, you've got either the regular release, or you've got the limited edition, which adds art cards and a 120-page art book for the additional price of going up from around £34 up to the 53, something like that. And final release on the 10th is The Executioner and Her Way of Life, which is about a priestess assassin hunting lost ones summoned from another world only to form an unlikely relationship with her latest target. Blending Yuri undertones with dark fantasy actions, refreshing twist on isekai conventions, stylish, emotional, full of tension. And 28 quid, obviously expensive for the rest of the world, but reduced from 40 because of the standard 30% off on this site. That's actually, for anime, that's probably relatively affordable. So, and next up, we'll go on to the releases for the 17th, and that starts with, well, it doesn't start with, they're all on the same day, so I've started with Keep Your Hands Off Izuken, which is 12 rated. Creative trio of high school girls embark on a wild adventure of making their own anime. Inventive, fast-paced, packed with love for the medium. This series celebrates imagination itself. A joyful ode to artistic passion and collaboration. And as you can see, the next one is a bit of a biggie, as you can see. Lots of variable outputs on this one. This is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. The slow, melancholy fantasy masterpiece continues. This is season 1, part 2. As Frieren reflects on the passing of time and the lives of her mortal companions. Visually stunning, deeply introspective, exploring grief, memory, and meaning, and a must for anyone who loves character-driven storytelling, quiet emotional depth. As you can see there, you've got the option of DVD, which can keep prices down if you just want to investigate anime. The Blu-ray, reasonable price, and the big box set. Now, that's obviously expensive, but you've got the big box that you can see there, the suitcase special packaging, and as you can see, I've just done a couple of little things below where you've got the into that design interior box to the left is the box within the suitcase box, and The other one is just a quick overview. I don't know how much you can zoom in on it, of the contents, which include metallic art cards, an art book, an acrylic standee, a luggage tag, stickers, and 7 shikishis, which are apparently special art boards for calligraphy and certain types of artwork for in Japan. So, yeah, obviously, if you're a big fan, that's a real something to have. But that's 99 quid is quite a lot of money for something that you can get the visual contents for 27 on the Blu-ray, which is inside there, and 19 for the DVD if you just want to watch the story. Next up, we have Dan Da Dan. Aliens, ghosts, and hormones collide in this outrageous new comedy action. Cult hit manga brought vividly to life, mixing absurd humor with surprisingly heartfelt teen drama, high energy, paranormal brawls, and genuine laughs. And that one is got that's the Blu-ray. I'm not sure if I've pictured it. Some sources are saying there's a collector's edition of this one as well, and I apologise if I haven't shown the picture, but the prices for the basic are 28-ish. The collector's edition is 49. And I apologise for missing out the picture. Next one we have is the Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero. Another one of those long titles. And this one is years after his defeat, a tiny demon lord reunites with the hero who once beat him, now a lazy slob, and the pair's odd couple cohabitation delivers equal parts comedy and heart. A refreshing spin on fantasy tropes with a sharp humour and likeable leads. And next up on the 17th, we have Spice and Wolf, Merchant meets the Wise Wolf, Season 1. This one you've got a Blu-ray and Blu-ray Collector's Edition. It's not much different in price, but then again, the only difference in material is the hard outer box that's got different artwork on and some art cards. So if you want to look nice and you don't want necessarily that uniformity on the shelf that some people do, the increase in price only goes up from 34 quid to about 37.5, so not too much extra if you do like those collector's editions. This is, by the way, a beloved fantasy romance returning. Despite, I'm not sure why it's returning when this is season 1. This reimagined adaptation of the classic series. Merchant Craft Lawrence once again meets the clever wolf goddess Hollow for adventures in trade, travel, and love. Warm, witty, and beautifully animated. A welcome return to the road. So I suspect this might be season 1 with regards to Spice and Wolf Merchant meets the Wise Wolf, but there might have been Spice and Wolf series before that. But sometimes, quite often actually, anime series, instead of calling it season 1, season 2, season 3, will call it the second season, something : a different name. So I think High School DxD High School DxD was the first season, then it's High School DxD. I can't remember what the order was. It's High School DxD Born, High School DxD Hero, and there was another one. But they don't actually put the season numbers actually on the front, so that could be confusing depending on which site you go to and what they recognise as the right way to advertise things. And finally, on the last release day of November, which is the 24th, you got a couple of biggies. Berserk, The Golden Age Arc. This is the Memorial Edition Blu-ray Steelbook. And it's a recut of the Berserk movie trilogy, adding restored scenes and enhanced soundtrack. Brutal tale of Guts and Griffith remains as dark and tragic as ever. This Steelbook Collector's Edition celebrates the legendary manga with new bonus content and packaging. So, yeah, sometimes these recuts are welcome, sometimes they're not. You've got to watch out with anime where they'll release a film which isn't actually a film. It's just cuts together, quite often very, very badly. A whole 10 to 12, 25-minute episodes. So it cuts down something like 300 minutes to a regular 90-minute film, and they just try to shorten it that way. And some of them are really badly done. Next up is one that I'm really looking forward to. This is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. This is set in CD Projekt's futuristic Night City, acclaimed standalone story following David, a street kid who becomes an edge runner. I think it might have links to a computer game or a video game, or whatever. And if you got more details on that, could you let me know? I know that logo, Cyberpunk, that's a specifically styled logo, and it's probably copyrighted. I know because I used to play Cyberpunk as a tabletop role-playing game when it first came out back in the 80s, and this, that, and the other. It's gone through many iterations, and now I believe it's a lot of these things been translated into a computer game. But now we're getting I think we're now getting this spin-off. Is it a movie or is it? It's 248 minutes long. So, yes, it contains episodes 1 to 10. So yes, it's a series. I'm really looking forward to this one, and as you can see there, it comes in either a Blu-ray at £28 or Blu-ray Steelbook at £35. That's, like I said, that's what I've already ordered. And on to so I had my notes in the order of the original release dates, where Cyberpunk was going to be released on the 3rd, Berserk was going to be released on the 10th. This, that, and the other. So it's lots of slippages, and it's not even just slippages. Some of them actually went back from being released on the 17th back to being released on the 3rd. So this really messed me up. And like I said, I'll become a villainess who goes down in history. I suspect, yes, after being reincarnated as the story's villainess, a noble woman embraces her wicked side to make a name for herself. Sharp humour and romance blend in this self-aware isekai romp, light-hearted, empowering, and full of chaotic fun. And again, we've got somewhat an isekai type situation with the villainess recognising that she's been reincarnated, I imagine. And finishing off with My Hero Academia You're Next, which is a movie, which is why it's more reasonably priced for once. And that's not bad at all. It's for a movie, it's anime. It's for the DVD there, you've got £11.24, okay, just over 11. The Blu-ray is about £15, and the Steelbook, yeah, absolutely typical. I just ran out of space, so I had to go to a third slide, and the Steelbook is only about £22 as well. So when you think of it that way, that's, yeah, okay, 22 and a half, but still, and maybe a bit more on other sites, not forgetting that you will have to pay all the anime for a small delivery charge, but it's per order, not per item. So that £2 or £3 or whatever soon disappears if you order a few, especially with this 30% off that they do during the first month, which is very well worth it. My Hero Academia, well, of course, one of Japan's top franchises, certainly its top superhero franchise, returns with the biggest movie yet. Heroes facing overwhelming odds, what do you know? When a new villain unleashes chaos across the world, packed with explosive battles and emotional moments, it's a must-have for My Hero Academia fans. Well, if that's you, then personally I would go for the Steelbook at just under £23. That's not bad at all for a reasonable Blu-ray Steelbook nowadays. So yeah, that will be it for this section. I shall be now moving swiftly back to being in front of the camera to wrap up, because I do have a couple of things to say, because I haven't done my research yet, so I shall leave my future self to do all the details. But anime films especially are getting limited releases at cinemas now. So if your local cinema is playing them and you're interested in them, but seeing it on the big screen, which is much more of an event, then I'm just going to point out a couple of ones that might be about. Now, I might be wrong, because obviously the things vary, in which case I'm going to have to cut all this blurb out. So, anyway, right, I'm back to me in the future.
Hello and welcome back. I'm not going to pretend that this is ages and ages later. Yes, I did record the intro segment at exactly the same time as I'm recording this one, because I wanted to make sure they recorded in the same week and I didn't contradict myself, because the original planned segment would be in a different week and I would have ended up potentially saying what things were happening that weren't. So anyway, I hope you have got a lot out of all useful information out of the pre-recorded segment that I just produced and or you've just watched, hopefully. So I'm just going to do the final fill-in bit here, which is I'm going to start off with all the anime's deal of the week, which is the quite well-known or quite successful Fate Stay series, Fate Stay Night TV series collection. It's down from $39.99 down to $11.99, which is a 70% saving. Basic description here, I'm just going to quick read through for you, which is the 10 years ago secret war fought by master mages with their servants in order to obtain the Holy Grail. The result was devastating to everyone, but today the Holy Grail war is beginning again, and one such master must now comes to grips with the reality of the secret world of war mages and their summoned servants, when he unknowingly summons his own servant, said to be one of the most powerful of them all. And he may be the one to prevent the destruction that had marked the first war. So that is that reduction from, like I said, 40 quid down to 12. For what it's worth, I think I might have mentioned it, but if I didn't, I don't know what the timing was, but they had, all Anime Online had these reduced in their Deal of the Week sale a little while ago, except they reduced, instead of having the complete collection set, they had all the 3 different sets. There are 3 different sets that make up this one. This one's a total of 576 minutes, but it was in like 3 pretty equal segments of under 200 minutes each. And at that time they did offers where each of those turned out to be about £6 or £7, good reductions, and I bought them all then. Now of course sort of kicking myself because I had no idea that they were going to do this one, so I picked them all up for £6 or £7 each, which was an absolute bargain from reduction from their original prices. But £6 or £7 each still adds up to 20 something, 21 odd, obviously. Yet now you can get it for 12. So if you are interested in that one, it's 15 rated, so you can judge the sort of level we're at here. It is English and Japanese language, so it does have an English dub if you prefer to not indulge in be forced to indulge in subtitles. As I said before, normally with films I prefer to watch in original language with subtitles, but with anime I really don't mind so much, because it's not like their lips are synced with exactly what they're saying anyway. But anyway, right, that's just that one. But also, as I mentioned, I think at the end of the pre-recorded section, I was going to mention a couple of facts that there is now anime has started hitting cinemas. They are actually taking some of the big anime films and showing them at selected cinemas around the country. The one that they have got on at the moment going around is what's it called? I think it's called 100 Meters, which the synopsis is that's approximately the poster, so you can tell it's a sports and anime sports film based on a kid who is born to run, and as a kid he's naturally gifted, wins every 100-meter race without effort, but in 6th grade he meets another student who's a transfer student full of determination, lacking technique, and he teaches him a new purpose to win no matter what. And as years pass, they meet again as rivals on the track, revealing them true selves, and it's an award-winning, introspective, adrenaline-fueled film from an award-winning director of Anime-niac, our sound, incidentally. Yeah, so if I'm not particularly into sports anime myself, but if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I will be providing links to the pages where they say which cinemas it's showing at and on what dates and how you can get to go and see it. Like I said, it's obviously extremely limited around the country, but there are more than I thought there would be, to be honest. You've got good page lists there, and there's a coming soon section at the top of that one, including my local cinema as it happens. So even if you're not interested in that one, please keep a lookout for any of these sort of things coming to your local cinema. If you are interested, some of this stuff will look great on the big screen, and maybe must be something you're interested in. I would have been interested in the previous one, which was, as unfortunate, it has got an extended run, but the extended run is now really running short of venues. So unless you're very, very lucky, I'll still put a link down to that where that's showing as well down below, if it is still running. I only had information that it was running a about a week and a half ago, so I don't know whether all of the run is now complete, but that one would have been one I would have had gone and seen if I had an opportunity to do so, health-wise, etc. It was easily enough for me, and that would have been Perfect Blue. Now that is, as you can guess, I've just printed this out because this is a Blu-ray that I do own. This is an 18 rated anime, very, very highly regarded suspense thriller anime drama about someone who's 1/3 of a chart-topping pop group, keen to put her childish pop group singer behind her and pursue the dream of becoming an actress. So that's it's very grounded in reality type anime rather than fantastical type here. Fans are skeptical, but as she quickly discovers that the transition is nowhere as easy or enjoyable as she thought it was going to be. And I'm sure plenty of singers have found that when they've tried to go into films in the past. Only a few have made it successfully. After getting a part in a very adult murder mystery drama, her life takes a turn for the sinister when she uncovers a blog detailing her life in intimate detail, and as a real life killer begins to attack the people around her, delusion and reality blend into one, and she begins to question her own identity. So pretty 18 rated, pretty heavy stuff there. It's not your light-hearted fan service type anime. It is extremely highly regarded. Like I say, if I had had the chance and I'd known that my local cinema was occasionally doing these performances, then I might have tried to get there if I had had the opportunity and was feeling well enough. So that's basically it. I'm wrapping up for this time's video. So that's the anime online deal of the week. It's only last week's deal of the week, which would have got put into this video if I'd done the recording immediately as I had done the recording for the pre-insert bit. Would have been another title which I already own, and would have saved me another at least 50 or 60% on what I paid for it, which was a pretty good price to start with, if I'd waited and got lucky with it being deal of the week. So that's the three things really. The anime online deal of the week, which I'll link directly to in the description. I'll link to the and I'll link to the sites that detail the locations for booking any anime showing at the cinema, and I'll continue to keep you updated on that. And if I see anything that is it's going to be too far off before I record one of these again, I'll put it up in one of the discussion sections on my channel, so please keep an eye out. In fact, please subscribe to the channel to make sure you're kept up to date on this sort of thing. Keep an eye out. Please keep watching all my videos. Obviously, some people are going to be more into the anime ones who are watching this, and others will be more into my mainstream non-anime stuff, my haul collections and my reviews or catches up, that sort of thing. But I like to introduce a whole mix of everything rather than split the channel like I'm sure YouTube expects me to. I do make sure that they're all marked into playlists though, so hopefully that'll make it easier for you to get recommendations for what I've done that you might be interested in. Anyway, in the meantime, the next time I shall see you will be hopefully round about the beginning of December, and December is a big month for anime, not necessarily because of releases, though it might well be. But because, not Anime Online, all the anime always has a big December Christmas sale, and from past experience it is absolutely spectacular. Their prices, but their base prices, I've normally reduced 40 quid sets, or RRP 40 quid, so sometimes around about in the mid 30s or early 30s on mainstream sites like HMV, etc. RRP 40 quid sets, they're sometimes down to around about £20, because those are the titles that they will choose. They've been out, maybe out for a bit, and they'll go beyond those, and for the sales they will put them in a buy one get one free offer. So in the sales where they're buy one get one free and already reduced from say 40 down to 20, you'd be getting two £20 ones for, instead of £40 you get that reduced down to 20, so that'd be 2 for 20, so 10 each for something that was £40. So essentially you get them at the equivalent of 75% off the RRP. Also, that tends to run for only 1 week of their sale period. They have different types of sale for each week or 10 days or so. So make sure you put in your big order for buy one get one free part of the sale, if that's what you want to do. I've done that before, where I've gone, I'll put in an order and I'll come back, and once that's arrived I'll just see how quickly it arrives, and then I'll go back and do it again, and by the time it's turned up, that week of sale is over. But also they have other types of sale. I can't remember specifically how they did it last year, but they've got other types of sale rather than just to buy one get one free. I think they have sort of snap big sale reductions on certain items, will be reduced for a short period of time, with much bigger reductions than they normally have got. And being all the anime, I suspect that'll be the anime limited release titles, whereas Anime Online is very much more connected with MVM titles. But I don't know how much of a Christmas type sale they do, if any, but I will certainly be watching this year, because I'm now aware much more of the sales that are going out on that sort of thing. And anyway, I realise I've just been waffling again, so I'm going to leave you now. And like I said, please subscribe, and I hope you really got something out of this. And if you did, please hit like. It really helps the channel, and really helps me. So, okay, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.